Hey guys, it's Elizabeth from Elizabeth Books, and I'm here today to do my mid-July wrap-up. I actually read a lot more than I thought I would. I'm really proud of myself because June I was in a really big reading slump, and so I didn't really think I would read too much this July, and I was on vacation for a while, but I'm back and I actually read a lot during vacation, so I'm going to talk about what I read today. First, I read The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, and I probably said that wrong, I'm sorry. And I read it on my Kindle. I borrowed it from the library. It was okay. It's kind of like, it's a retelling of like 1001 Nights, and it's like every night a guy gets a new wife and she dies, and so it's about this girl, and I can't remember her name, but she is picked as like the new queen, and it's how she survives, and I thought I would like it a lot more. But it was just like a 3-star book for me. It was okay, but I don't think I would continue with the series because I didn't love it, and it seems like everyone seems to love it, and I don't know, I just didn't really like it. It wasn't really for me. Then on my Kindle I read The Distance Between Us by Kasie West. I read On the Fence by her, and that one was kind of cute, and this one was pretty cute too. It was about a girl who owns a doll store, and she works in her mom's doll store, and she falls for a client who comes to like buy a doll for his grandmother, I believe, and it's just kind of cute, you know, just any kind of romance contemporary story. It's very like pre-teenish, but I still thought it was pretty cute. I like all her books for the most part. They're just really cute reads. Then I read Hello, I Love You by Katie M. Stout. This one's about K-pop, and K-pop means a lot to me. I really, really love K-pop. This is about a girl who decides for her senior year she's going to go to a high school in Korea, and so she just moves to Korea, and her roommate's brother is a like famous K-pop artist, so she falls for him. And her family is also in America, was in like the music business, so she's grown up with it, so she doesn't want to like fall for another person in the music industry, but she does. And this wasn't the best book or anything, but I just thought it was really cute just because of all the K-pop it talked about and other things in Korea, and I just really like that kind of stuff, so I really loved it, even though it was not the best story, but I would still recommend it if you like K-pop and that kind of thing. I read Magonia by Maria Dahvana Headley, and at first this book was amazing. I got this in the April Owl Crate box, and I was really excited for it because I thought it sounded really good, and it was amazing. I was super hooked into it. I loved it until literally the last probably 100 pages, and then I just didn't care about it at all. Like, I didn't like anything about it after the 100 pages, like the last 100 pages. I just wanted the book to be over, and I didn't want to read it anymore. So I like actually did super love it at first, but then I just wanted to put it down with like 100 pages left. So I think it's gonna be a series, and I don't know if I would read the next one just because I didn't really enjoy it after. I don't know, it was so good at first, and then I just wasn't into it anymore, so that makes me sad. Then on audiobook, I listened to Lies My Girlfriend Told Me by Julie Ann Peters, and my monthly reading challenge from Cat by Catty-tastic was to read an audiobook, or listen to an audiobook this month, and so I listened to this one, and it took 7.5 hours to listen to this many pages, so I'm like, wow. Audiobooks are so slow. Like, I could have read this in like an hour. I don't know how she read so slow. How did you read so slow, audio person? It was a very good, I liked the narrator of the audiobook though. Like, I mean, I was really into it. She did all the voices pretty well. She changed her voice a lot for them, and I really enjoyed it, and I liked it. It wasn't my favorite Julie Ann Peters book, but I enjoyed it, and I will totally reread it. I probably wouldn't listen to it again. I don't know if I'm really into audiobooks. I don't know if I'd actually really listen to one again, but I wanted to try it because I'd never really done it except like Harry Potter ones, but I'm pretty sure I just like reading books more than listening to someone else read it to me. Next I read on my Kindle Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen, and I borrowed that from the library, and I really want to own it. It was so good. It was Sarah Dessen's new book. It's about a girl named Sydney whose brother he was drunk and he hit a kid, and the kid was paralyzed, and so he's gone to jail, and it's just about her switching schools to try to like kind of get out of people knowing her and trying to finish up her, I think she's a senior and she's just trying to get out of school, but she, you know, meets a boy, meets new friends, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very, very good contemporary, and I read it on my Kindle because I was scared to own it because I haven't really liked the last few Sarah Dessen books, but I really, really enjoyed this one, and I think I will go out and buy it. Next, I read The Martian by Andy Weir, and I don't really know how I feel about this one. It's about a guy who is on a mission to Mars with the team of astronauts, and there's a dust storm and everyone escapes, but he is left behind. They think he dies, and so they leave Mars without him, and he realizes he's alone and he's gonna have to live and like make sure he has shelter and food, and I really, really did enjoy it. Like, it's like kind of in his journal, and then it goes back to all the people on Earth like realizing he is missing and how they're going to save him. Overall, I really liked it, but a lot of the like astronaut terms, I guess, kind of just flew over my head and I didn't really understand, even though they did explain it, like, so it's just my fault for not really like comprehending, I think, because they did try to explain things. I just wasn't getting it, and so I really didn't know what was going on half the time. So for me, I think it would be a better movie. I know they're making it a movie. I just think it would be a better movie for me just because I could visualize it better. It's the same thing for Jurassic Park. When I read it, I really didn't understand any of the like DNA parts of it, but watching the movie you see everything happen instead of like reading the text of it. So that's what I enjoyed the book, but I just think for me it would probably be a better movie. But we'll see. I'll have to watch it. Then on my Kindle I read Beg by C.D. Reese, and it was a free Kindle book. It was like a 100-page novella, and there's like a 7-part series, and they're all like 100-page novellas, and I only really read it because it was free. It's about a girl who is a waitress, and she spills a drink on a client and is going to get fired, but the client kind of hires her, and then it's just kind of like a sex story after that. So it was kind of enjoyable, the like plot parts of it, but there really wasn't any plot in 100 pages, so I don't think I would read the rest of the series because each of the other ones are like $2.99 for 100 pages, and I was like, I only read it because it was free, so maybe if it's at the library I would finish it, but it's not a top of my list priority or anything. I reread Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, and I'm actually kind of sad because rereading it, I did not like it as much as the first time I read it. And the first time I read it, I thought it was like so cute, like amazing, and this time I read it, I don't know, it like wasn't as good. Like the characters didn't seem as good, the plot didn't seem as good. I still gave it 5 stars because it still made me happy, but I don't know what happened. Like it just wasn't as good the second time around. But I'll probably reread it again and hopefully it's better the third time. I don't know. Now I'm kind of scared to reread the other books in the series if I'm not gonna like them. I really, really liked it at first though, so I don't know. If you don't know, it's about a girl who goes to Paris for her senior year of high school. I read a lot of books where people in their senior year of high school go somewhere else. Yeah, so she moves to Paris and she meets a boy, St. Clair, attractive St. Clair, and has a crush on him, meets new people, new friends, yada yada, all in Paris. It was very good. Just not as good as the first time I read it. Tears. Then I reread This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. I read Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen, so I needed to read another one, and this is one of my absolute favorite ones by her. Rereading this, it was still amazing and just as great as reading it, and I've read this probably more than 10 times, and it's just so good. I love every single character in this book. Everybody is well written, everybody's funny, everybody has good parts about them, and I don't know, it's just so good and I really enjoy it. And I want to reread like all of my Sarah Dessen books now after reading this one. This one's about a girl named Remy whose mom is getting remarried for the 4th time. She doesn't believe in love because she sees all of her mother's relationships have failed, but she meets a boy named Dexter and it all kind of changes from there. I know that sounds like just kind of like a cheesy romance, but her friends are so good in this book, and Remy, I feel it's just like a strong female, and I just love her. And Dexter is just so funny and cute, and he has a band, and everybody in his band is cute, and I just love this one. It's really good. Then on my Kindle I read Frenched by Melanie Harlow, and this was another free book for my Kindle. This one was better than Beg. It's still like the same kind of new adult type romance novel, but this one actually had a better plot. It's about a girl whose husband leaves her like a week before her wedding, and so she goes to Paris, Paris again, for her honeymoon. She just goes by herself, but she meets a guy named Logan, and they just kind of sightsee, and he shows her around Paris, but then they get to know each other, and they kind of fall in love. And I actually really liked it because, yes, it was like a romancy new adult book, but there was a lot more plot and you got to know more about the characters besides Beg was just like 100 pages of nothing. So I really liked this Frenched one, and I think it's a series too, but I don't think it follows the same characters, so I don't think I'd read the rest of the series because I liked these two characters and I don't think I want to read about other people. Like, the other books are about like her friends and stuff, so I don't think I care about that, but we'll see. If they're free, I'll read them. Finally, this month I read Magnolia by Christy Cook. This one was okay. It started off really good. It's about two families who have a boy and a girl, and all their lives they've kind of wanted them to like each other and date, but they absolutely do not like each other, and it's kind of about Gemma. The girl wants to go to school in like New York City, and about how her family is just very like old school, traditional. They live in the South, and just kind of how she meets another boy and dates him instead of the boy she's supposed to love. And then a tornado hits and everything they kind of have to work together. And so it was really good the first half of the book, but then the second half was very rushed and just like silly. So I only gave the book 3 stars after that, but it started out pretty good. It had some bad lines and stuff, but I was enjoying it. But then near the end it just fell flat and I didn't really like it anymore. Hi guys, those were the books I read in this half of July. What are some books you read? Let me know below, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.